Welcome to Texas Business Radio. I'm your host, Matt Register, here along with Jay Curry. We got an exciting show for you today. We're going to talk about sales and the art of the sale. Before that, have you been to Texas Business Radio? Guys, don't take notes today. We have everything you need, links to all of our guests and all kinds of information. Go to texasbusinessradio.com, texasbusinessradio.com. Go there, send us an email if you have any questions. We also monitor hashtag TBR on Twitter. TBR, Texas Business Radio, TBR. Go to the website. Guys, we're talking about sales and what it means to sell, the difference between sales and marketing. We got all kinds of things to cover today. Our first guest today is from one of the best names of a company I think I've ever seen, Revenade. What do you think they do? I think they might aid you in your revenue. Tim Phillips is here, the managing director of Revenade. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's great to be here. Jay, thanks for the invitation.
Well, tell me a little bit about Revenade. I know you are you're a salesman. You do sales, you understand sales, and Revenade is a company that assists companies with their sales.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit more specifically what you guys do for companies.
Matt, what we focus on is helping primarily professional service companies grow their top lines. And we look at not only increasing sales, but also the profitability and the money that they put in the bank at the end of the day. Most of our clients are successful companies that have grown, but they've plateaued. They may have had 1 to 2 years with either flat growth or no growth, or may have actually even rolled over a little bit. So what we look at is how can we help these folks get back on the path and increase their sales over time. And the way we do that is 3 areas of focus. One is primarily looking at their go-to-market strategy. And you asked about the difference between sales and marketing. And
right.
So I'll use the disclaimer right here. We're sales experts, and we are not marketers. There's a distinct difference. And what you find in successful enterprises, especially in the business development arena, is you need to have a very strong marketing complement working tightly with the sales organization. And so in the professional services arena, what we find is the real intention and purpose of marketing is to create highly qualified leads with a predisposition to already buy what it is that we're selling, so that we're defining those and we're pumping those into the sales organization so that then the salespeople have the ability to engage with and quickly close those opportunities. So if you think about it, marketing is kind of the advanced team in defining who is our ideal client, what are their needs, and then it's turned over to the sales organization to engage and close those opportunities. And where we focus on that is in our real sweet spot, which is what we call sales effectiveness.
So very simply, you're taking the art of marketing and you are executing that into the science of sales.
Correct.
Great. So who are your clients? I mean, you talked about tech companies, service companies. So who specifically do you help, and why did you focus on them versus other verticals?
Great question. Our ideal client, if you will, is someone in the professional services arena that does not have a discrete product. They don't sell traditionally. When you have a product in the B2C or the product world, I have a product and it has a feature and a function and a price, and do you want it in red or yellow? And if you buy 1,000 a day, I can give you a 10% discount. When you're selling professional services, it's very unique in that it's hard to differentiate yourself from all the other service providers in your arena.
Correct.
It could be accounting, it could be architecture, engineering services, oil and gas services. But what we have to look at is what are our unique differentiators, and then leveraging those to position ourselves to separate out and away from the herd of all the also-rans. And so what we focus on is someone who's been in business for at least 2 years, that is on a growth path that may have slowed. They have probably a revenue range of $5 to $150 million. They may have a small and fledgling sales force, 1 or 2 salespeople or up to 10. But what we quickly find is that most organizations it has been the founders of that company. A lot of our clients are in the information technology arena.
Sure.
And so as a result of that, very bright guys, and they've been selling and delivering, and they quickly figure out there's only so many hours in the day.
Well, you've hit competitors. The founders are the ones with the relationships. That's why they got into business to begin with.
So,
right?
so we've exhausted our personal network.
Right.
So naturally, being the smart guys they are, we need to hire a sales guy. Mm-hmm. So they either start asking around in their network, we need a sales guy, do you know anyone? Or they'll put a job posting out. And in the world of sales, it's amazing, but the best sales job that a sales guy does is in the interview to get the sales job. So they make the leap of faith hire, and they bring the guy on and go sell. And 6 months later, they're kind of scratching their heads and they're saying, he's a really, really nice guy. And he claimed that he knew everybody in the industry, and he had this huge Rolodex, but we haven't sold anything. And so it's really kind of what we call the $150,000 leap of faith mistake.
Sure.
And so now what happens is the worst is they become very cynical, and now it's like all salespeople are bad salespeople.
Sure.
And so what we find is that many times there hasn't been proper alignment up front in finding the right salesperson.
Or the right process for
Precisely.
that salesperson, correct?
Biggest thing that we find in working with all of our clients, and you'd be amazed, there are very successful companies, but the ones that are really the high aspiration companies that want to take it to the next level, the most important thing that you can do is have a defined and discrete, but most importantly, documented sales process. And then hire to the process of what it is that you sell.
Matt, that's so refreshing to hear, because working with CEOs, they don't get this, and I've heard this story. I mean, it's great. It's exactly the way you describe it.
I've heard 100 times the CEO says, "I've tried salespeople, or I have salespeople. They're not doing anything for me.
Right.
I don't know how to do it." And this is something. But you spend a lot of time and effort into the process of the sales, and the process of the sales funnel, and the process of getting from that initial lead to the closing table, correct?
Right. What we do is we really take a step back, and we sit down with the leadership team of the enterprise, the CEO, the head of operations, marketing, sales if they have them, and really, first of all, define is what are we selling and who is our ideal client or customer for what it is that we sell. Then create those value propositions to differentiate it. And then more importantly is let's define how you sell. So we actually walk through what we call the full life cycle sale, from lead generation through qualification, through proposal preparation, presentation, negotiation and close, and generation of referrals off of the business that we've already established. So if we can define that into discrete steps, we then have the ability to measure that performance. And as we can measure the activities in those stage gates of the process, now we can manage it. But most importantly is, as people are wanting to scale their business and really grow rapidly, the sales process is probably the greatest catalyst to help them in doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, Tim, we need to have you back, because this has been fascinating. We deal with a lot of companies. Every one of them has a sales problem and has something, has trouble in identifying and executing that sales process. So this has been great. Revenade. Best way to get in touch with you, Revenade.com?
www.revenade, Revenade.com.
Revenade.com. I love that name. Tim Phillips, Managing Director, Revenade. Go see him. He can help you with your sales. Guys, that's all we got for you for this segment. We got more for you. We're talking about sales all day today on Texas Business Radio. Send us a note. Go to texasbusinessradio.com. Send us an email. Hit us up on Twitter. Use hashtag TBR. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Revenade.